welcome to this week's episode of MOAR Tech. I am your host, Michael Armorgan. This is, of course, our host, Vicquell.
Hi.
And this week we're going to be talking about, well, how should I put it? Smartphone batteries is probably our first topic, I think. And that's one that's been an issue for a while with smartphones. As smartphones grow and are more robust, more battery dependent, I guess you could say, because of all the features, the technology hasn't always been there. And sometimes that's caused issues. Key point, looking at the Galaxy Note 7 from a few years ago. And they're banning from pretty much being able to use on planes and a lot of other places. Do you remember that incident, Vicky?
Yes, and it was funny, but then sad at the same time because person saw like that was when like the Android versus iOS argument was like blowing up more than how it is now, and person's always going on about, oh, Samsung this, Samsung that, and Samsung was the first one around here having phones explode. Then they recalled them. Actually, no. Then they had to explode, and then they changed the battery and they pushed it back out, and then it was still exploding, so they had to recall the whole product altogether.
Yep. It was honestly a mess. And I see you there, 3 Interlock. Welcome to the stream, man. Now, that being said, Samsung took note of the issue and they actually did an industry first and actually did a lot of, like, they implemented probably, I would say, the most interactive and most comprehensive battery test for smartphones since then to make sure that an issue like that, well, wasn't supposed to happen again. And so it's like a 16-point battery check, which is honestly kind of insane. But I mean, it makes people feel safer about the products that they buy from Samsung, so who can knock them? That being said, it's recently come to, well, everyone's attention that Apple has actually hired the former executive for its lead to lead its battery division. If I quote Engadget, they're saying that Apple has poached the head of Samsung's battery division to lead its own battery development efforts. Cupertino hired Samsung's SDI Sunun An to become its global head of battery developments. Bloomberg has reported after spotting the major career move on his LinkedIn profile. An has started working with Apple back in December 2018 after 4 years with Samsung, 2 years of which were spent as SVP, so Senior VP, for next generation batteries and materials innovation. He was in charge of developing new battery technologies, not just for mobile devices, but also for electric vehicles and e-bikes. So, taking that into consideration, I think that's actually kind of important when you start to take a look at the problems that Apple has actually had with batteries over the years. Like, there have been some pretty, it hasn't been frequent, but it's been like anytime it happens, I would say it always gets like really blown up. Wow, bad pun. Sorry guys, that was completely unintentional. But it essentially gets like hyped up because of the fact that it's Apple. I mean, Vicky, I'm sure you would have seen at least like 2 or 3 cases over the past few years where it ended up in like big major news corporations and stuff like that. Or no?
No.
Wow.
You gotta give me more. You gotta give me more hints.
Okay, well, I mean, from the inception of Apple's iPhones, there have been cases where people have left them in charging overnight and it would catch fires and stuff like that. And so,
little like small cases.
Yeah, small cases, but they hype them up because it's Apple, and you know, people didn't really expect that, and they expect a quality product and so on and so forth.
Anything Apple do, people will react negatively towards it.
Exactly.
Just about.
So that's why I say it's a hype up kind of situation. But because it's Apple, and because it gets hyped up because it's Apple, it makes sense that Apple would then say, you know what, let's actually get the guy who made the better batteries for Samsung, which is their longtime rival, to then say, hey, well, we want better stuff. Fix our batteries so that we don't have this issue anymore, that we can get these comprehensive tests, so on and so forth, so we don't have to send them into Samsung to do testing, because I think that was Samsung's thing. Send your batteries in, we'll do the testing kind of thing, and spend money. But
the fact that he left Samsung after working for so long should give just like a little bit of question as to what Samsung doing over there that made him want to leave so quickly when Apple offered him a job.
Well, I mean, it could honestly be the salary. I mean,
I'm pretty sure Samsung could have matched that salary.
I mean, possibly. But again, like, Apple does have a lot more revenue than Samsung in the end game. Like, they fight for the highest smartphone sellers, but at the same point, it's Apple. Quite literally, their CEO, like, what, makes $3 million a year? Or is it $3 billion? I forget exactly what was inside the shareholders report. And that's bad of me, but regardless, for the most part, the executives make millions of dollars a year. And that's nothing to scoff at. Like, I think that could be the reason. Plus, don't forget sign-in bonuses and stuff like that. So, I think it was, which company? There was a gaming company that had a sign-in bonus for $15 million for an executive to join up. When the company themselves is like, actually, I think it's Activision that did it. Even though the company is like downsizing and like cutting costs here and there, but they're giving a 15 million bonus, sign-in bonus. So I mean, it could be something like that, or a few extra million, sweeten the pot. You don't know. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But it could also be that, Samsung is just not the place he wants to be anymore. For whatever reason. Could be they'd be doing some shady stuff. Or maybe he's just tired.
I'm tired of all the colors. He wants to go to a blind company.
Wow.
Apple's a blind company. Their standard colors are space gray and silver, which is essentially white.
Well, I mean, what about their like C lineup, or I guess the X, the 10R lineup?
No one really checked for them. I mean, like they're a great addition for persons that want colors, but you can tell like their standard. Most of their products come in 2 colors, and like recently they started like branching out, with the rose gold and then gold and all that type of stuff. But most of their products start off with 2 colors, black and white.
That's true. Or if
all
not
their
white,
stores,
silver.
White. All of their accessories, white. So they're a blind company. They actually made a joke about them on the Amazing World of Gumball before.
I never would have really thought about it like that, but you're actually right. Like, you are right. It's very like sterilized in a sense. Interesting observation. Chillishin saying white equal nah, bro. I mean, I could get kind of funky with that, because like AirPods and then people taking them out, and if it's like turning yellow and stuff, like that means people ain't cleaning it.
Yeah, no, I clean my AirPods every time I clean my air, and I always know when my air needs to clean because I put my AirPods in my ear, and when I take them out and they have wax on it, that's time for me to clean them. Some persons would use them until like the wax get caked up in it, and I don't know if But you constantly putting in your air, especially like the wax builder, if it's gonna mess up the speaker. So I like to keep it clean just in case.
I think we broke Chillagen's head. He's saying what? And hey, Jackie, welcome to the stream. Okay. So, honestly, though, I'm interested to see what happens with Apple's batteries. I know recently Interlock is saying it's better for them to have white accessories, thus when it gets discolored, you would feel entitled to buy new ones. That's a valid point.
Touché.
That's a
very true.
Very valid point.
So I look at my charger and I'd be like, do I want to open up the new charger because it's cleaner? Or do I want to like use this until I can't use it no more?
Man, I just had to clean like a power cord yesterday that I was sitting there for a while, and I used one of these because apparently NASA like suggests using Lysol wipes and stuff like that to clean electronics. To clean electronics. So I ended up getting these to clean up my stuff, and so I just used that on my power cord, and because I got it back from Micronet and it was filthy when I got it back. Ooh, that thing was black by the time I finished. Just cleaning the cord. The cord, not even the laptop. The cord was black. Like, that was weird. But yeah, in senses like that, I would prefer personally just cleaning it instead of like opening up and buying a new set. But sometimes I can't help it at all, and it just stays like that yellow color, especially with Apple, like those old like wired, the wires from them and stuff is like, oh my god.
After a while, it just stays that color. So you just leave it alone. I have another charger here, but I'm trying to use this charger to like the full capacity before I open up the next one.
Oh, so you're gonna be like someone that I saw today with those kind of janked up chargers and stuff like that.
No, I have I actually had to get a new charger because the where the cable bends, Apple de facto it automatically like breaks the cable where it bends the seal. So like I just wrapped a nice little bit of electric tape around it. I wrapped a little piece of vinyl to keep the electric tape holded nicely, so it looks fine. But when it starts sorting out, that's when I'm going to change it. But until then, I'm going to use my charger with my mask down, my electrical tape on it.
See, folks, and that's how you run into your phone, like set it going on fire. Be careful with that, Vicky.
I have it wrapped with electrical tape, so it should be good.
Okay.
It's only my laptop, so it's fine. Should be good.
But I mean, it would be good if, because I know the latest development with Apple's batteries is the whole new L design for the batteries.
Shape, yeah.
So maybe they're looking to actually enhance their batteries a bit or figure out a better design or something like that, which is the reason why they could have maybe hired him aside from the security aspect of stuff. There's a lot of different stuff and reasons as to what it could be. So
right now, I think like batteries are at their capacity unless persons want to have thicker phones, and we all went through that whole thin phone because everybody wants things to be thin. So that means like the battery has to be less. So the battery can't be all as thick as it is because the chassis got to be so thin. So that may be it. And their solution, puts in quotes, their solution to the problem is basically producing a battery case, which just came out, I think, last week, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you're right. 3 Interlock, who's well, a certain someone inside of our chat, says, "Don't worry, Victini. Sometime in the future, Apple will bring out a super slow wireless charger for you."
That's how it is now. Like one of my friends, she has a little wireless charger for her 10s Plus. I mean the 10s Max. I gotta get used to that. Anyway, so like if you want your phone to charge on that, like you gotta put that there the night before and let it charge overnight, or If you get up in the morning, throw it on there and let it charge until like maybe 10, 12 o'clock.
Nah, fam, I'm good. I'll just stick to my cords and like get charged up within 15 minutes to like 75% of my battery life. I'm good.
Fancy. But I use my iPad power adapter, so my phone charges relatively fast. But when I go there, like I just like, because I don't really use my phone when I'm there like that. So if I see my phone dying, I just like throw it on the pad and I'm like, okay, I'll just check in the morning. So I know it's gonna take a little while to charge up.
The interlock says overnight? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, so have you heard about this Facebook secret meme hub called LOL?
LOL. Yeah, it reminds me so much of Vine.
But like, Facebook has done stuff like this a number of times. Let's see, there was Facebook Watch, there was Lasso, there was IGTV, and
oh, they killed off IGTV already?
I mean, it's not popular like that anymore, so it's probably gonna end up. I am not. What? Children, why are you trying to get me tongue-tied? Oh, he's just hitting his keyboard. He says get him off Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second. But I mean, yeah, IGTV just hasn't really taken off the way that they intended to. So a lot of people are seeing it as a failed experiment by Facebook. Plus the fact that it hasn't really been updated in a while kind of leads to that. Whereas other things like Messenger, Facebook, and some of their other stuff on the side have been continuously updated.
That means they're about to scratch that soon.
Probably. They've actually, as of today, they announced that they're shutting down Moments as well, which was their little way to save and share your photos with people privately kind of thing. Sorry, photos, videos, and so yeah, they're shutting that down February 25th, I believe. Yeah, they say Moments will be going away February 25th. Moments will no longer be available after February 25th. We know your photos and videos are important, so we've made ways for you to export and keep them, with a big button that says export photos and videos. So yeah, that launched back in 2015, and for a lot of people, they actually completely forgot that existed.
I know it existed.
Part of the reason why it's not there anymore.
2015?
Yep.
I wasn't really on Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook now, but I was always more of a Twitter person than Facebook. So 2015, no. I was on Facebook like that.
Yep, that was 4 years ago. I was probably on Google Plus and Twitter more than I was on Facebook.
People actually use Google Plus?
I used to use Google Plus back when it was good. And then they stopped developing for it and started taking features away, and it just went to crap.
I tried to get into it, but no one was really on my run. So
yeah, it was better like when it first started and was like beta, because then like it was a really tightly knit community. And so you can follow a lot of people and actually get to meet them and then like kind of build up from there. And so a lot of people actually made it big off of Google Plus. Like even people did TV shows and stuff like that for Google Plus and shared it on there, and they just got big from that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but like after things like started to spread out and features got removed, people started breaking off and going other places. But this Facebook lol is actually not making me lol, it's making me cringe. Because but it is. It's okay, here's the thing. They started it off with about a handful of teenagers with parental consent. They had to sign non-disclosure agreements, but it somehow still leaked out. It's pretty much just a hub of funny videos and GIF like clips essentially. It's, let me see. These look like, it looks like it has categories like For You, Random, Memes, Animals, Kids, Failed, Wait for It, Savage, Classics, Pranks, Gaming, Celebs, School, Stand Up, and then I think they had like a For You version, which is more personalized for stuff. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, okay, so they had a private beta with around 100 high school students. That's really a handful. To do focus groups on one-on-one testing with Facebook staff. Facebook has officially given a statement. We are running a small-scale test, and the concept is in the early stages right now. They're saying with the teens increasingly turning to places like stories for sharing content and consumption, Facebook is desperately trying to lure them back into its easily monetized feeds. Collecting the funniest news feed posts and concentrating them into a dedicated place should appeal to kids seeking rapid-fire, lightweight entertainment. LOL could also soak up some of the low-quality videos Facebook scrubbed out of the news feeds a year ago in hopes of decreasing zombie-like passive viewing that can hurt people's well-being. Ah, there you go. Our sources familiar with LOL's design says it feels cringy, like Facebook is futilely pretending to be young and hip. The content found in LOL is sometimes weeks old, so meme-based teens may have seen it before. After years of parents overrunning Facebook, teens have grown skeptical of the app and have fled for Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. People still use Snapchat?
Yeah.
That's
beyond... I thought Snapchat had died as well, but no.
Interesting. Parachuting into the meme sphere may come off as inauthentic, posing, and Facebook could find it difficult to build a young fan base for LOL. One of the recent designs for LOL screenshots obtained by TechCrunch show that users are greeted with a carousel-themed collections and so on and so forth, which I already went through. Once a user opens up a daily's collection and starts scrolling the feed, it turns into a black bordered theater mode that auto-advances after you finish a video clip for lean-back consumption. Isn't that nice? Facebook cuts each video clip into several up to the section several seconds long that users can fast forward through with a tap that they're watching a long Instagram story. Why? Anyway. Below each piece of content is a set of special LOL reaction buttons for alright, funny, alright, and not funny. That's good, I guess you could say. There's also a share button on each piece of content, plus users can upload videos or paste the URL to submit videos to LOL. Okay, so that's one way to like develop and curate stuff. They say that they've repeatedly failed to capture the hearts of teens, and so on and so forth, with clones like Poke, Slingshot, Lifestage, acquisitions like TBH, fears that losing its demographic, or that the shift driven by the youth from feeds to stories that Facebook has less experience monetizing have caused massive drops in the company's share price over the years. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Honestly, like, this is not giving me... I don't think this is gonna go off. I think people are just gonna stick to places like Twitter and Reddit for their stuff. What do you think, Vicky?
Yeah, I get most of my memes right now from Twitter. And Facebook now, like, Twitter would have all the jokes first and then Facebook would get it last.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, because, I mean, Tumblr used to have some good jokes and stuff, like... But, I mean, you'd find those jokes, for the most part, on places like Twitter and Reddit. So...
Yeah, Tumblr died after they add the whole...
No porn?
No, yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Like, it feels kind of weird that they're specifically targeting teens for this. And especially such a low number. Like, it kind of feels like they're trying to go back to their roots, but instead of colleges.
They're
high
doing
schools.
teenagers because they know high school students are most likely on their phone 24/7. And after watching eighth grade, I've learned that, oh my, I said high school right now isn't like a really good place, but, well, in this generation, but most of them are like constantly on their phone. They're constantly posting things on social media, like Facebook, not Facebook, but like Instagram and Snapchat, like waiting for persons to give them like some type of validation. So by getting that crowd and putting them back on Facebook, Facebook may generate the same revenue that they did back in like the first couple days, well, first couple years when they started out. Because right now, Facebook is like a desert for old people. No offense to the elderly people that use Facebook, but that's what it is right now.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, I won't deny that. There's very few people that I know that actively use Facebook that are, I would say, under the age of 25. Um, Even with my family, like most of them that I know, they're on Instagram and Twitter for the most part. Like the only reason they use Facebook is so other family members can contact them because they don't want them on the other platforms.
If you message me on Facebook, I probably went on to you until like 6 months later. I won't even lie.
Wow.
Cause I don't really check it, so I don't have the app on my phone anymore. So it's like I have zero connection to it with Facebook, so I'm not gonna see anything. But if you message me on Twitter, I'll probably like answer you faster because I see it constantly.
Okay. Nah, I think because I still have everything connected to my phone, so like I'll get your message. It's just if I don't respond soon, I'm probably busy with something, but I would typically respond back within a day. I got stuff to do, especially
Twitter. I respond back in a couple of hours because I'm always on Twitter. But like if you message me on Instagram, I'm not gonna reply to you until like 2 days. Like when I actually go to open the app again, and that's when I'd see the notification. And I usually only open the app when Apple posts a new photo, so I go and look at it.
Interesting. I'm learning things about you, Vicky. I'm learning things about you.
That I'm not really a big social media person.
Yep. This is news to me. Well, not really news like that, but it's more information than I had before. But that is actually going to cover it for this episode of MOAR Tech. Unless there was something more that you wanted to say, Vicky?
Nah, I think that's just about everything. I still can't believe Facebook trying to do this meme hub, but
they need to kill this already. Like seriously, like the fact that your stuff is over like weeks old.
Yep, and memes are like slowly dying off and being replaced with GIFs.
Pretty much. I mean, there's also the fact that the EU has quite literally banned memes. So, I mean, I still don't get how they did it, but yeah. Jackie saying a day Nick stories? I don't understand.
A day Mike stories? No. I have no clue.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I can't decode that one.
But that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of MOAR Tech. Guys, do not forget that we will be back next week, Tuesday, with all hopes and prayers, with our episode of Esports Wrap at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of MOAR Tech. If you've missed any part of this episode or actually want to watch it without like the 20-minute long intro to it, feel free to watch us over at youtube.com/moarcookies. That's MOAR cookies. or we'll have this episode up on our website, moarcookies.com. And of course, we have our podcast going as well, so you can listen to it pretty much anywhere that you can listen to a podcast. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, quite literally anywhere, even Pocket Casts. If you want to keep in contact with us, by all means, click follow or subscribe wherever you're watching this to keep up with us. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, of course, YouTube, like I mentioned, or join our Discord chat if you want to be able to have frequent conversations with both us along with other members of our community who, much like you, would be commenters and giving us information or comments as the stream and whatnot happens. So, until then, guys, this is More Cookies. Take care. You're not going to say, like, your little bye?
Oh, I thought you had cut it out already. Bye!
Take care, guys.